All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Dr. Philip Ovadia here again. Excited to have with me today for our conversation Robin Switzer. Robin organizes an amazing conference every year called Hack Your Health, and Hack Your Health 2025 is coming up in November in Tampa. And really excited to have Robin on to talk about that conference. Before we get into the details of the conference, Robin, why don't you maybe give a little bit of your background, how you became sort of interested in this, and how you got into the business of putting on conferences.
But you said we only have 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do the brief version.
Oh boy. Okay, the concentrated version. So I spent a lot of time in my younger years battling symptoms of metabolic disease, and I didn't know that's what it was. So I always thought that I just had a weight problem. And so I was always on one diet or another. And this went on for most of my adult life until my 40s. So I eventually discovered Atkins, and then low carb, and then the ketogenic diet. And over the course of time, I figured out what worked best for me. And it was the ketogenic diet at the time. And so also at the time, I was a high profile banker, and I was traveling a lot. I had a big corporate career that was pretty much destroying my mental health. And when all of the ketogenic and the low carb diet started healing all of my metabolic symptoms that I was having, it became very clear to me that I needed to get out of what I was doing. So I was in a Facebook group called, now I can't remember it. I was in a Facebook group about the ketogenic diet and a keto evangelist. And I saw a post in the group looking for someone to be a program manager, which I had no idea what that was, for this startup. I ended up speaking to the owner. He had started a company called Keto Evangelist, and he had 3 or 4 different podcasts that he was doing weekly. He had all these different Facebook groups and all this different social media stuff and YouTube. And he was looking for someone to help him kind of bring it all together and start what we were calling at the time a keto empire. So I jumped ship at the bank and started working with him. And right away, we realized that it would be beneficial for all of us on the team and also all the people in the communities to put on a live event. So it became my job to orchestrate all of this. I had no experience producing live events. I had been a speaker for the bank at events. I had been part of the big bank booths in these large financial services conferences. So I kind of backed into what I had experience with to put on our first event, which we did in 2017. And it was a huge hit. We right away signed up to do it again the following year. And we kept doing the event every year, 2017, 18, 19, and we were planning 2020. And then we all know what happened in 2020. So Brian came to me and he said, all of the things that we're doing right now, everything's dead in the water. We can't do the event. All of our other business lines were, we had no sales. It was pretty much overnight. He said, we probably have about 90 days and I'm going to have to shut everything down. And I wasn't ready to give up. We put together an agreement and I acquired everything from him with the intention of starting over as soon as we could. I had no idea it was going to be so long. Yep. So that was a scary time for me because no experience as an entrepreneur taking on this big company. I had to decide what to keep and what not. And then we started rebuilding. At the time, the event was called KetoCon. And when we came back in 2023, or 2022, excuse me, it became very clear to me that we were going to have to rebrand because the ketogenic diet was still, there was still a lot of research taking place. Of course, there still is now. But it became clear to me that if I was going to reach more people, I was going to have to find a way to rename the event so that people who were not following a ketogenic diet didn't look at the brand and think, well, that's not for me. So on a road trip with my son, who runs exhibitor sales, we came up with Hack Your Health. And so we rebranded. It took us a couple of years to do it. We rebranded to Hack Your Health. And so the event now, in comparison to what it was when we first started, is much more encompassing of all different areas of health, not just nutrition, not just a ketogenic diet. Although the foundation of the event is still nutrition, I still have a banned ingredient list. And we're trying to meet as many people as possible wherever they are in their journey, whether they've just been recently diagnosed with something serious, or they're just looking to lose weight, or they've been, getting fit and healthy for a long time, but they want to be around people who have like interests. So that's kind of where we are. It's been quite a journey. We've been very lucky. We've kind of poured our heart and souls into it. And now we're doing the event this year in Tampa. We've been doing it in Austin, Texas, because that's where it started. But I live in Florida, just outside of Tampa. So we decided to bring the event home to our own community so we could help as many people here as we could.
Yeah, I mean, that passion is amazing, right? And sort of being brave enough to switch careers and jump into this says a lot about how much you believe in the message, right? In the power of helping people understand their health so that they can heal themselves. And that's what really comes through at the event. Maybe talk a little bit about, it might seem a little strange, I'll say, to people, why would I go to a event about health? Why would I go to a conference like this? What maybe are some of the things that people, maybe there are some obvious things, but maybe there are some not obvious benefits to coming to a conference like this?
Well, I have a hard time calling it a conference because it's not a summit. It's not an expo. It's kind of bringing all of that together. So I relate this to the feeling that you get when you go to a large event like a concert where everybody is there to hear the same thing. Everyone is interested in the same thing. It's very positive. When you walk into an event like this, specifically when it's related to improving your health, there's an energy about the people there. So everybody's there for a positive reason. And that energy, you can feel that energy when you walk in the door. So when you come to an event like this, you're going to see people who are very fit. You're going to see people who are not fit at all. You're going to see people who look very healthy and people who look like they're on a journey towards being healthy. You're going to see people my age. You're going to see people in their 20s and everything in between. So when you are around like-minded people for 3 days, like we do this event, you can't help but be impacted in a positive way. When people like you take the stage to educate people or the attendees on their heart health, it gives them insight into how to understand all of the information that's out there. When people like Annette Bosworth take the stage and tell stories and teach, it's life-changing. And so for me personally, I feel the energy as soon as we open the doors. And I know that other people do too. So I would say being around like-minded people is probably the most impactful part. You get to learn from people like you, and you get to experience things that you see either on social media or on TV that you may not necessarily have an opportunity to test in your everyday life. So for instance, You read about all the benefits of sauna, but you may have never actually sat in a sauna, or your gym doesn't have a sauna, or you don't have one in your home. You can test that out when you come to an event like this. Or if you want to understand and experience the value of a cold plunge or an ice bath, you can do that at this event. If you're interested in learning more about how to cook healthy, that takes place. We do cooking demos, we do breathwork sessions, yoga classes, and there's going to be 100 different companies there that offer products and services that improve people's lives. And if you're not a products and services person, you're going to bring home information to help you improve your life.
Yeah, very well said. Reflecting on last year's event, when I didn't speak at the event, my company Ovadia Heart Health was exhibiting at the event, and it was the first time I had been to Hack Your Health or KetoCon, and it really was a lot different than some of the conferences that I speak at, right, that are very focused on sort of the science. We'll talk, science and education, and it's really a preponderance of clinicians and or researchers that are talking. And at Hack Your Health, it was a very diverse mix, I would say, of the people that were delivering the lectures and, as you said, the audience that were there, and interacting with all the different, companies that were exhibiting, and the speakers that came from such diverse backgrounds. We all, everyone there, I would say, had a common mission, right? A common interest in health, but we're coming at it from many different angles. So talk a little bit about who, that mix of people that are going to be speaking at the event this year.
Let's see. Well, Mark Sisson is joining us this year for the first time. He recently released a book about the value of walking. So he'll be speaking. Let's see. Amy Horniman will be speaking again this year about thyroid health. Ben Azadi will be speaking again this year. Annette Bosworth. Sean Baker will be speaking about the carnivore diet. Mike Mutzel will be joining us this year. Do you know Mike?
I do.
So Mike will be joining us this year. I'm very excited to have him joining us. His company, Myoscience, makes some pretty incredible supplements that I personally use and have been using for years. So I'm really excited to have him. Allie Miller will be joining us this year from Texas. Allie Miller is brilliant. She's a practitioner, and she really focuses on whole body health. So not only nutrition, but all the other areas of improving health. She's a phenomenal speaker. Kate Shanahan will be joining us this year, talk about seed oils. It's a long list. So we have right now 62 speakers, and I'm full. So I don't think that we'll be bringing in any additional speakers. We are doing some different panels this year. We're doing a men's health panel this year. We'll be doing a food addiction panel this year. What was some of the other ones that we're doing? Regenerative agriculture. We'll be doing a regenerative agriculture. So Will Harris from White Oak Pastures in Georgia will be joining us. And along with Brett and Harry from the Meat Mafia podcast, Charles Mayfield and Michael Coomer, they're going to be doing a regenerative agriculture panel where they're talking about how to pay attention to where your food comes from and why buying locally is so important, and how to find regeneratively raised food, grown food. So those are some things that I'm excited about this year.
Yeah, I was just actually scrolling down the list as well, and it really is an amazing panel. Some other highlights we didn't even touch on. Bill Schindler.
Yes, Bill Schindler and Christina will be speaking as well.
Yep. Eric Berg's going to be joining us. So really a pretty amazing lineup and diverse lineup. the cooking demos. I see you have James Barry and a few others that are going to be doing cooking demos. Always fun. And
book
yeah,
signings. Ben Azadi will be giving away copies of his book signed. We'll be doing a few different book signings. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of activity. It's a solid 3 days. We go from early in the morning on Friday to 6 o'clock on Sunday, and we do it Friday, then we do it again on Saturday, and Sunday we do it again, but we stop at 4. So it's a packed few days, and people leave with not only tips and tools to bring home with them so that they can improve their own health, but they meet people. So you go home with a new list of contacts and people that you can stay in touch with that are part of the community that really want to help elevate other people.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, the just interacting with the community, knowing that there are others on this journey with you, is one of the most powerful things about this. Sometimes doing things that are different than what most people around you are doing, can be isolating.
Incredibly.
And meeting the other people that are doing this and understanding the other, that there are people on this journey with you and being able to connect with them is certainly one of the most powerful things about this conference. Now, it's an interesting environment around health these days, right? We actually have a governmental focus on health, and maybe talk a little bit, right? And it's not political. It's not about one side versus the other. It's about that, this is becoming a focus of our sort of society. So talk about that aspect of, putting this conference on in that environment that might be a little different than in the past.
Nothing has really changed for us other than there's more interest in the event. There's more, I think, all politics aside, I'm very excited about the focus on wellness and how the administration is paying attention to and putting someone in charge of getting the crap out of our food. And I mean, you and I have been working and trying to educate people for years. It's a really hard nut to crack. Having this type of education coming from the top down, not that I think that government really has a role in nutrition, but they do have a role in protecting people from the harmful things that go into our food. So I'm very excited about it. I'm really excited about people that are credentialed talking about things like seed oils. I'm very excited about credentialed people who are talking about the benefits of the carnivore diet, elimination protocols. I think that nothing but good can come out of the attention that's being put in this area. And I think that we're all going to be better for it. It's going to take a while, but I think we'll all be better for it.
Definitely so. Maybe before we wrap up, let's kind of give a shout out to Tampa as the host of this conference. Maybe talk about some of the great reasons that people might want to come to Tampa in November. You and I both call the area home, and so we're excited to be not have to travel far for this one.
Right. I'm very excited about that. So first of all, the Tampa Convention Center is literally on the waterfront. That picture that you just showed of our website, that is the Tampa Convention Center. It's just a beautiful venue. So most of the people in the past, about 60% of our attendees came from outside of the state of Texas when we were doing it in Texas. So if that still holds true and 60% of our attendees come from outside of the state of Florida, most of the country during the month of November is pretty cold and experiencing, early winter weather. In Florida, it's, usually around Thanksgiving, it's still in the 70s, and people are still going to the beach. So I think that the weather is the biggest attraction because it's just so pleasant in Florida in November. November, December, and January are my favorite months of the year here. But there's also a lot to do. So Tampa is the convention center and the hotels that we've secured room blocks with. The Tampa airport is a 20-minute tops Uber ride. So Tampa airport is beautiful. It's actually won several awards recently. I don't know if you've seen that. So it's very easy to get from Tampa, the Tampa airport, to downtown. The downtown area is very walkable. There's great restaurants downtown. There's just a lot to do. You're 30 minutes from St. Pete if you decide to come and extend your trip, which St. Pete has, and Clearwater have the most beautiful beaches in the country. And then there's Sarasota. I mean, it's endless. If you bring your family, there's all kinds of theme parks, there's sports. The convention center is on what we call the Tampa River Walk, which is a walkway that's directly it's built on the river, where people can walk from one end of the walk to the other, where there's restaurants and shops and the convention center, people riding their bikes and jogging. It's just it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be.
Yeah, definitely would echo those sentiments. And it is a great place for a conference, convention, we'll call it actually. And what you said about the Tampa airport is quite true. It is one of the easiest airports to get through generally, and I travel a lot, so I know this well.
Right.
So definitely encourage people to check it out. So the conference is November 14th through the 16th.
Yes.
You're going to want to go to hackyourhealth.com and go now. Because there is high demand. Hotel rooms, I think, are going to be in short supply.
Yeah.
One thing Tampa maybe doesn't have as abundant a supply of as some of the other cities. So go now, get your tickets, book your hotel room, and we have a discount code to use, iFixHearts, for a discount off of those tickets. And
that's excuse me, that's $100 discount code. So
great.
That code applies to all 3 ticket types, which is general admission for the entire 3 days, our VIP ticket for the entire 3 days, or virtual replay, which is we record all of the content at the show. And then about 30 days after the event, we provide access to all of that recorded content. So if you can't get to Florida, you'll at least be able to get access to those presentations.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Robin. I know I'm really looking forward to the conference. Any last words for the people out there?
No last words for the people, but for you, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for coming to the event and speaking. We're really looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for putting on such a wonderful event. I hope that we'll see lots of the audience out there, and look forward. It's always fun to meet people in person. So like I said, go to the website, get your tickets. And just a reminder to everyone, whatever channels you're watching this on, please subscribe, hit that like button. And if there's anything my team and I might be able to do to assist you in your pursuit for good health, please go to ifixhearts.com and /talk, and you can set up a call with a member of our team. Thank you, Robin, and thank you, everyone who took some time out of your day to join us.
Thank you.